Hi, in this video, I wanted to talk about how do you know if you need digestive enzymes and how do you take them? So you probably don't even know, well, what the heck are enzymes? Well, we're gonna be talking about digestive enzymes here, and basically they are proteins that help break down the food into smaller particles so that they can be absorbed in the small intestine. So those are enzymes. How do you know what are some maybe indications that you may need enzymes? Classic are going to be you burp up, you have gas after you've eaten, you feel like the food is just sitting there for such a long time after eating a meal, you're just really bloated. You also have undigested food in your stools, in your poop. So it's a good thing to look at your bowel movements after you go to the bathroom. You should look to see, is it floating? It's probably it's a good indication that you need digestive enzymes. If the stools have like an oily color to it, or they're oily, or you see oil like liquid kind of at the top of the toilet in the water, it's probably another good indication. As I mentioned, it just feels like the food is just sitting there and it's not digesting. Other things you can see is when you flush the toilet, you'll see like poop streaks on the toilet, in the toilet. So those are some indications. Some of the people that I find that really need the digestive enzymes are people that are like really stressful, like type A personality, because they're so stressed that for your digestion to kick in, you actually have to be in a relaxed state. That's why you should be sitting down having a meal, not eating in your car, not eating in front of a computer, a television. You want to be mindful and just sit down, take your time, eat your meal, let it digest, enjoy. So the stressful person, a person that has low stomach acid, they don't have sufficient hydrochloric acid. We talked about that in a previous video. Some of the indications would be like a person's burping up a lot of their food. That's usually a hydrochloric acid deficiency. You have low stomach acid. You don't have sufficient because, and I went into a whole video about that, because when you have low stomach acid, sufficient low stomach acid, it actually closes up that sphincter from the stomach and the esophagus, so that food's not coming back up. But you also need substantial amount of hydrochloric acid so that you can make so that your enzymes work, and not only that, so that your pancreas can make the enzymes too. So people that have inflammatory conditions of the bowel, like Crohn's, like celiac, they have a lot of food sensitivities, they have leaky gut, bacterial infections, parasitic infections, they have yeast, they have candida. Those are some indications that you probably need digestive enzymes. So how do we know what kind of digestive enzymes we should be taking? And another one, that when you're the people that are transitioning into like from a standard American diet, all the processed food, into more a keto, paleo template, you're switching from like not so good food, prepackaged food, to more healthy, wholesome food. You'll find that you probably have diarrhea, your stools are loose, it's just like, oh my gosh, my bowels are such a mess now, everything just seems so off. That's also an indication that you're going to need some enzymes. But once again, make sure that you check first make sure that you know how much hydrochloric acid your body is making, if it's making enough. Go back to a previous video. So there's different types of enzymes, and you want to get a full spectrum enzyme. There's 3 different companies that I really like. I like to use Designs for Health, Apex Energetic, and both of those you can only get through doctors like myself. And Enzymatica has another one. They have another one that's a full spectrum, and it'll list in the back the different types. From this one here has amylase, it has protease, it's got lactase, and those are just all different types that will digest, like whether it's dairy, whether it's fats, whether it's protein, carbs, fiber, so it's all listed there. So those are the ones. And how do you take them? You want to take them at the beginning of the meal. If you're taking one, take it at the beginning of the meal. If you're taking two, take one at the beginning of the meal and then another one at the end of the meal. If you're also taking hydrochloric acid, take the hydrochloric acid in the middle of the meal. So it's enzymes, hydrochloric acid, and enzymes. And how, most people will start with one and usually end up with two when you have that higher, when you have a really strong, broad-based enzyme support that you're using. So you can start with one capsule, increase to two. If you're a person that has like, I don't know, let's just say you have ulcers, you have gastritis, then you may not want to start with a whole capsule of enzymes. And see, this is why it's important to work with a practitioner who understands all this. But even using like diglyceride licorice, and also using, we say like aloe vera, that's gonna just more soothing for you. That's gonna work better for you. Working with that and slowly adding the enzymes, but you maybe want to just open up the capsule, pour it in your food, mix in your food, and take and just start that way and slowly increase them. It may take like a week before you can have a whole one, or it may take 2 weeks. That's something you just have to figure out and dose. Everybody's different. And so if you have ulcers, start low. How long do you have to take these? Well, I have found that most people, as you get older, and most times you're going to require some sort of a digestive support. And the unhealthier you are, the more digestive issues you have, you're probably going to need these for a longer amount of time. However, as your gut health improves, you'll find that you're going to need less of these, and you start to become so in tune with your body. I wouldn't take them with soups or salads or smoothies. Probably wouldn't even need to take them with that. So primarily when you're eating like a large meal, that is a substantial large meal, like your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so I hope that helps, and if you like this video, please share it. This digestion is just so vital. Your gut, your brain is, they always say your gut is the second brain. And if you have a lot of issues where you can't remember things, or you're depressed, or you're anxious, you start working on your gut, your brain health just improves tremendously. The brain fog, you just feel so much better. So, but you got to clean up your diet first. And I've got so many videos on what to eat and how to optimize your diet for your health.